Greetings and welcome again to another episode of Rip from the Silverscreen. I am as always Mr. Grimreaper 512, and I have a special guest on today's show, Dark Knight 987. You have seen him on the channel before. Say what's up, man.
Hey guys.
And today we have 3 reviews to give you guys for today. Starting first with Stephen King's Pet Semetary. I talked about a little bit of how I felt about the 2019 remake. He hasn't seen the video yet, but he will. But I did talk about the 1989 film a little bit and stuff like that, and I shared with y'all my history with the film and its and the 1992 sequel. So as always, I'm going to go through the plot, and I don't know if Dark Knight has ever seen this movie or not. I don't know if he has or hadn't, but have you, man?
Well, not growing up, no, but I think during the later years, I do remember watching it, but I also, to refresh my memory, I also read the plot on Wikipedia, so I kind of get it, what's going through those Pet Semetary movies.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, there's this cemetery where you can bury your pets or loved ones and they come back to life, but not in a way you think.
Yeah.
And people in the movies will just say, I'm going to go do this, bring them back to life so they won't be dead. But they make mistakes. As I say, they're just something horrifying. I want to tell you all about that as well here during this review.
So, of course, you guys know that this is based on Stephen King, on a novel of the same name by Stephen King that he came out with back in 1983. Now the whole point of the movie is that this family moves into this new house. Louis Creed, of course, who is a doctor from Chicago. He decides to move. He decides to move his family to a new house, like every other family does. You know what I mean? But then we come to find out that things start to go awry. As we go in the film, as we go through the movie, by the way, there's going to be spoilers in this. And it's not surprising. Y'all should have seen this movie in 1989 anyway. So the whole idea is that the whole idea for this film is that they move to a new place, like I said before. And they're trying to, like every other family, they're trying to what's the word am I looking for? They're trying to make a better life for themselves. You know what I mean? And then as they're there, as they're trying to do what they need to do, things start going really bad, really horribly. Of course, Church, their cat, ends up getting killed in the film, and then also their son. But things start going from bad to worse when they come to find out that they go to this pet cemetery. They go to the cemetery where, but they bury him. They don't bury him in the cemetery itself. They bury him on this Indian burial ground. And what happens? The cat comes back to life. And the cat starts causing all sorts of hell for them. which leads into the death of their son Gage. Now, of course, their son Gage was just normal kid trying to, he's a 3-year-old little normal kid trying to get by, stuff like that with his life, and then the kid dies. I believe he got hit by I don't know if he dies from I really don't remember all that much from this. Does he die from a car, getting hit by a car? Do you remember him?
As far as I know, the cat is the one that gets ran over.
Oh, but let me see if I can go through the plot here.
I'll pull it myself. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, see the cat. Okay, church is run down on the highway in front of the house. Gage is killed. Oh, you're right. Gage is killed by a truck along the same highway.
Yeah.
There you go.
So as parents are, you know how parents are when their kid passes away. They start going through a bunch of hell. When Gage dies, the father has this wonderful idea to take him to the Indian burial ground where they buried the cat, and decides to bury his son there. Bad move, dude. Knowing full damn well that the damn kid would come back not as himself, and stuff like that. And so that's really normal. That's really just a plethora of things that happen in this film. The wife starts seeing a ghost, who was trying to think, trying to remember who the hell this guy was. Victor. She starts seeing him. Of course, Victor has this. He looked like he came out of a car accident. Well, I think he did, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So what happens is that let me see here. So Victor comes and he is messing with the mind of Lewis. He's trying to mess with his head. The wife dies in this movie. And the same thing ends with let's see. Okay, so the wife comes back. Comes back to life because the guy was stupid enough again to go back to that same Indian burial ground and bury his wife there.
Yep.
Okay, so the old man. Let's talk about the old man. Now, of course, at the beginning of the movie, they meet this guy, named Judd. Judd Crandall, who is very helpful. Who is a very helpful person and stuff like that. And he tells Lewis, "Don't freaking be stupid. Don't bury them up in that cemetery." And it goes back to the very, very line that he said in the movie. Things are better when they're dead, if I remember correctly. So, oh, sorry, man. Wait. Okay. But anyway, so what happens is that Oh man, one of the scariest parts of this movie when I was watching it, I've seen this movie like a million times. One of the scariest scenes is when when Gage, who's turned into a zombie now or whatever, like a reanimated corpse or whatever, is under the stairs. This is one of the scariest goddamn scenes in this movie. He's under the stairs. He has like a scalpel or something like that in his hand.
Yeah.
And the Judd is trying to. I guess Judd is going back upstairs to go lay down and go to sleep. Like a normal person would. And then Judd gets. Oh my god! I can't think about it, because the more I think about it, the more horrified I am of it. When it meets bone, the scalpel meets bone. Oh my god, you have to wince like a son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
From this. And it's just horrifying. And then you see he comes out of the staircase, and you can see it's not Gage anymore. Gage is not himself anymore. Gage is a terrifying little bastard now. You know what I mean? And it scares the that part scared the hell out of me, dude. Like so much. And stuff like that. And it was just a very terrifying movie. It was a very horrific movie.
Yes.
And what do you remember from the film, man?
All the part you're talking about, I certainly do remember. Just seeing that part with the scalpel and the guy killing him across the. Oh my gosh, that part almost made me crawl out of my skin. And I mean, this movie here, like I said, I remember because I never watched it as a kid, but I remember when as an adult, I watched it, and like I said, some parts still kind of are scary to me about that. The way the son was, especially the cat was, especially how. Oh my god, dude! I mean, words cannot describe how horrifying it was. Still, to me to this day, it still freaks me out a little bit. So yeah. I mean, I think I remember my brother watching it, my older brother watching it, and I remember he had it loud. I heard the screams and everything. I remember I peeked in, and that was the part that was freaking me out. Was the part that. When I saw the scalpel scene and the whole slashing his throat and stuff, I was like, what? And I remember, but yeah, so even to this day, it still freaks me out, Although Pet Sematary, this original one, though, it is great. It's based on the adaptation of the novel of the same name by Stephen King. Although other than that, though, it's a great movie, but still gives me, goosebumps to this day. So
yeah, it's this film gives me the creeps. It still gives me the creeps after all these years. Because I remember watching this movie the first time I ever watched it. The first time I ever watched Pet Sematary was back in 1994 when I was a kid. I don't know, maybe about 4, maybe when I first watched it, and it scared the hell out of me as a kid. There was scenes and there was stuff in there that's made me piss my pants, scared. And this film, as far as everything else goes, this film is still a cult classic to me to this day. Stephen King, I've never read the book before, but I have seen both movies, and pretty soon you're probably gonna hear my take on the second film that came out in 1992, with the one with Edward Furlong. But as far as everything else goes, this film had horrific aspects to it. This film had wonderful. It was wonderfully made, and stuff like that. And I believe, and Mary Lambert, of course, you know who directed the film as well. She brought a vision. She brought Stephen King's vision to life in this film, and I commend her for this. I commend Stephen King for this, and I think me and Knight agree. This movie gets a 10 out of 10 completely. Because this film was completely horrific at the time. This film was scary as hell. Would you agree with that aspect, man?
I agree. I do agree. It was scary as hell. That 10 out of 10 is what he said. That's a good rating to me. Like I said, the horror is there. It does give you the goosebumps. So the horror is there. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. This is a great work, Stephen King. They did a good job with this. So I agree with that rating. That's where it's at.
Yeah, so Pet Semetary gets a 10 out of 10 from me and Dark Knight 987. And it's a really, really good movie. For those of you who have not seen it, who are young enough not to see it, it is a really good movie. It has horror aspects to it. The drama is there too, especially when Lewis and his wife Rachel loses their son Gage. That made me bawl like a baby, dude. And it was a good movie. I felt that Pet Sematary, both of them were really good movies. The first one and the second one, but let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about the first Pet Sematary. If we didn't discuss everything that went on in the movie, let us know what your favorite part of Pet Sematary of the 1989 version was. And that's going to be it for me. I'm Mr. Grimreaper 512. He is Dark Knight 987, and we will see you all in the afterlife.